To KwaZulu-Natal, where the Education Department in that province says it will hold a week-long commission of inquiry into racism and sexism allegations at Hillcrest High School. Karinda Jagmohan is standing by for us. And Karinda, a meeting took place between the school authorities and education officials. It was a closed meeting, but you managed to speak to some people that were in that meeting. What did they tell you?
Indeed. Well, Dudu, this morning started with a meeting between first the education MEC and management at the school, and later on a handful of pupils were able to make their way in. One parent actually passing us using derogatory language once again. Pupils were able to make their way into the school, into this meeting, to explain the racism that they had been experiencing apparently by a group of learners at the school. And initially, this entire investigation started with the leak of a WhatsApp chat, a group chat between these school boys, in which the school boys used derogatory language, racial slurs. Now, pupils who saw this group chat wanted action taken against these boys, and a disciplinary hearing was only conducted in June this year. The WhatsApp chat had been leaked last year. It had taken place between June and October last year. The disciplinary hearing was only conducted this year, and following that, the boys were placed on a short suspension, which school pupils here say is not enough. They wanted proper action taken against these learners who they say have previously bullied learners at the school, was also sexist towards some school girls here. That is the complaints that we heard of at the meeting. At some point, media was allowed to go inside and listen to what the girls were saying. These were mostly girls that were giving testimony about what was happening here, but we weren't allowed to take videos using the faces of the girls or their voices. But nonetheless, very heartbreaking testimony coming out of the situation. Due to one girl actually saying that she regrets coming to the school. She said that even though we are more than 20 years into democracy, she does not feel it at the school. The pupils say that they have tried to embark on peaceful protests, calling for action to be taken about the racism at the school, they say, but they were met with bias from the school management. Also saying that one teacher at one point told one of the learners or asked them where their tires were to burn. Of course, this completely stereotypical, discriminatory words being used against these pupils. So, following this testimony, we understand that the MEC for Education will embark on a week-long commission of inquiry to investigate these allegations of racism, sexism and bullying at the school. And in the meanwhile, while this meeting is taking place, a number of pupils have been fetched by their parents from the school. You'll see behind me as well, there are police vans that have been called in. So you can see here already parents concerned about what has been happening at the school, a number of them coming out to pick up their children from the school as this meeting goes on. The meeting has concluded. Officials have since left the school, but what remains at this point, Dudu, is questions on what will be the outcome of this week-long commission of inquiry. And it's not the first of its kind we're seeing at a Durban school. Remember, just a few weeks ago, there was a commission of inquiry set up at the Grosvenor Girls High School where similar allegations of racism had emerged. At that point, the former MEC of Education, Kwazi Mshengu, had suggested a hearing by the South African Human Rights Commission, whereas here there were representatives of COSAS who suggested that criminal charges be laid against the school boys who were considered perpetrators of this racism, sexism and bullying. So at this point, things are very tense in the school, as you'll see behind me. Of course, we're not allowed to show the pupils' faces, but a number of parents coming in, going to the office and waiting for their children to come through. And Dudu, I must say that on the ground, as we stand here and watch people coming in and out, frustration as well by parents over what they say has been protests at the school. So really a deep division here is what we're seeing. And what the girls at this meeting have been saying or calling for is they say that they wish that the school had protected them as much as it protects their reputation. Quite emphatic statement made by these school pupils here who say all they want is for justice for what was said in the group. And they're also questioning the excuse that the boys gave at their disciplinary hearing earlier this year in June. Actually, the boys said that they did not know what the N word or the K word meant. These were words that they used in this group chat. And the girls questioning that these boys are in matric, and actually history is one of their subjects, so they did not understand how they would not know what these words meant while they were using these words. So what the girls are alleging is that there has been a cover-up of this at the school and they want proper action to be taken. But of course, we'll be back here next week to hear what the department has to say after the inquiry.
Karinda, if that parent who walked past you who was saying or using derogatory language is anything to go by, it sort of gives you an idea what these children hear at home and then come and play out at school and then still face discrimination by teachers. Karinda, Jagmohan, thank you for that comprehensive update.